Stitch number 4 on the Pfaff Ambition Essential sewing machine is a built-in satin stitch. You'll notice it will tell you to put foot number 2 on and disengage the dual feed. It is not a number that has a blue bubble around it. It is a solid black number at the top. Now, another foot that I would often recommend using is an open toe foot, because if you're doing satin stitching, you're usually following around an applique and you really want to see where you're going. But for the feet that come with this machine, this is ideal. Now, if you look at the stitch width, it is very wide. Let's just start at the full setting. But look at the stitch length. It is set at 1. So I am going to adjust this down just to see, number 1, that we can change the setting of the stitch width while we're sewing. And I'm going to touch the stitch length down 1 notch from 1.0 to 0.8. And let me show you the difference in the settings, because the machine doesn't know what thickness of thread you're actually using. So you can find that this is where we started. The stitches were brought close together, but you can see a little gap in here. When I think of a satin stitch, I think of something much, much more solid and probably not as wide, but that's just me. So as we narrowed it down and then we shortened the stitch length, see how right there it became nice and solid? But if you were using a thinner thread than this one, you would need to bring that stitch length down even a touch more. The key is not to get it so close together that it piles up and makes it so it doesn't move. You want to find that happy medium where you have a good looking satin stitch. You don't have to push the fabric as it sews, and you can easily get around curves or corners, whichever or wherever you're appliquing. Don't forget to use some type of tearaway stabilizer. This is removed later after you stitch. It'll just tear right away. But you keep in mind that you have a built-in satin stitch, puts you in the right ballpark, and then lets you alter it to exactly what you're after for looks.